Go.
तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनम कविभिडीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भुरिदा जनाः. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourse with his intimate devotees at Star Theatre on 14 December 1884, when he went there to witness the drama on Prahlada. And the topic of discussion was Bhakti, Naradiya Bhakti. This appears in the third section of the 11th chapter of the original Bengali version, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, 3.11.3, on the third part of Kathamrita, the original. In the second volume of the Hindi translation, Sri Ramakrishna Vacharamrit, under chapter 104, 2, 104 and 3, and under chapter 35 of the chronologically presented English rendering, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Let us recapitulate the salient points discussed in our last Sunday class, which is being streamed live for the benefit of the devotees constrained by the lockdown formalities. We have seen that Thakur has said that Bhakti has a gradation. First there should be acquaintance, then there will be one-pointed focus, devotion, nishtha, then it gets elevated into Bhakti, devotion, and the devotion culminates into bhava, and finally it gets merged as Mahabhava or Prem. Now in this Bhakti description, there is Navalakshana Bhakti, which we have been discussing at length for the past so many weeks. And the 9 stages: Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. The eighth rung in the ladder is Sakhyam, which was being discussed and which we should conclude today. And go to the next stage in the forthcoming session. Sakhyam is principally the relationship of a friend, a beloved. We have said that how Bhakti prepares us to come closer and closer to God. First we hear, and God is someone else. So our connection through the sound vibration. Then we sing the glory of God, or think of Him in the mental stage. And then we do puja, sing His glory. And then develop a personal relation, the relationship of a friend with a master, with a servant. So servant kneels down, master is seated up. And when it comes closer, then the servant is lifted in the same platform, and a friendship ensues. When each stage leads to the other, they're independent with each other, again it leads to the other. As we discussed, that though Hanumanji was a sevak of Lord Ramachandra, but when his love deepened, then he raised him and embraced him, saying, Tumi mama praha, Tumi mama priya bharata hi samabhai. As Bharat was his brother and also the deepest friend. So Hanuman was elevated to that stage of friendship, from down to top, the same level, equality. We discussed that the Rakhal Balakas, they were so frank, they are confidential, confident, and Arjuna, even we discussed about Uddhava and in the incarnation of Sri Ramakrishna, but Jogin, who was a part of Arjuna, as Sri Ramakrishna says. He came as Arjuna before. And finally, we ended with Raja Maharaj, the eternal companion of Sri Ramakrishna, Brojer Rakhal. Now, in this stream, we find that in every incarnation, God comes with a counterpart whose Abhinna Hridaya, two in one or one in two. So, in the incarnation of Sri Ramakrishna, the most wonderful episode is the relation between Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, his chief disciple. Now, who was this Narendranath or Vivekananda? It's very difficult to say. But on the one hand, he was his initiated disciple. But since the early days, after the Mahasamadhi of Swami Vivekananda, people started worshipping Swami Vivekananda in the same platform of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, this became a point of controversy when even when Srima Sharada Devi was alive, a complaint was lodged against Srima Sharada Devi that nowadays the people are worshipping Swami Vivekananda along with Sri Ramakrishna on the same platform. Nevertheless, he was his disciple. Sri Ramakrishna was his guru. Guru is always to be placed above. But Srima Sharada Devi endorsed, we know, saying that Narendra Madan Mathan Muni, he should be kept up, not down, not even in the same platform. He is our all in all. But if they were so much friends, in the life of Swami Vivekananda, when he was Narendranath, we see a complete different story, different picture. On the one hand, Narendranath did not come close to Sri Ramakrishna. He was feeling embarrassed seeing the intimacy of Sri Ramakrishna. He forbade him also, scolded him, and on the other, he used to criticize him. He couldn't understand the idiosyncrasies of Sri Ramakrishna. He liked the person because he was a saintly person, good person, but his emotions were not liked by him. And much less, he felt very intimate with Sri Ramakrishna. As long as Sri Ramakrishna was alive, Sri Ramakrishna knew this and used to make fun of it. But Sri Ramakrishna used to consider Narendranath as his dearest friend, the relation his friend. He used to say, jokingly, pointing to Hajra Mashai, he was a controversial person, but he was liked by Narendranath. And there was a great friendship with Hajra Mashai. To say, Sri Thakur used to say that Hajra is the Ferendo of Narendra. Natural friend, Ferendo. Naren's friend is Hajra. And Naren is my Ferendo. Naren is my friend. Whereas Hajra is Naren's friend. Naren would not have friendship with me. But I accept Naren as my closest friend. Not only said that, he used to feel overwhelmed at the sight of Sri Narendranath. He would even visit Narendranath's place in his subtle body at night. And he could not bear the pang of separation of Narendranath. His friendship was so deep. Now it went into a climax when one day, this incident is very significant because it will be experienced by Narendranath in a much later stage. Because friendship is a relation with both ways, not one way. Though you don't realize in the beginning, but ultimately it becomes evident. So far we found it is one way only, and which Swami Vivekananda is to denounce. One day, in ecstasy, Sri Ramakrishna was smoking tobacco in Chilam. And in ecstasy, in Dakshineshwar, in his room, residential room, he went and sat on the lap of Narendranath. And then, in that ecstasy, he offered that chilam to Narendranath and requested him to smoke. Narendranath was a little embarrassed, but as a prasad of Guru, he started smoking. And after some time, he snatched away the hookah and went on to smoke from the same hookah. Narendranath shouted, "First get it washed." ये तो झूठा हो गया. This has been touched by my mouth. We never offer such things to our venerable people. He says, I have already smoked from this chilam. Please allow me to get it washed. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, তুই বড় হীনবুদ্ধি. You are very immature, low-minded person. You don't see, এটাও আমি, ওটাও আমি. He pointed to his body, said that this is me, and that body, touching his body, he said, this is also me. I am present in two bodies. There's no difference. As has been said, in a water, if there is one mark, one stick, and the water gets diverted in two streams, but water is same. It is appearing in two different streams, being separated. Similarly, he said that this and that are one and the same. And secondly, another incident happened just before his departure, Mahasamadhi. He called Narendranath to his side and it went into ecstasy, and Narendranath also lost consciousness. He touched him, lost consciousness. After a while, when Narendra regained consciousness, he found that Sri Ramakrishna is weeping. And then he said, Sri Ramakrishna said, that whatever I had, I have given it to thee and become a beggar now. Become a pauper now. I don't have any treasure of my own. But by the will of the mother, with these spiritual treasures, he will do great benefit to the world and then go back. Go back to where from you came. We remember he was a Rishi of Saptarshi, Rishi, one of the Saptarshis. Sri Ramakrishna went, begged of him, and by his loving touch, that Rishi came back from his meditation and followed him for his work, to fulfill his mission. So this was so far one way. Swami Vivekananda could not realize his true relation with Sri Ramakrishna. But later on, when Swami Vivekananda had his horizon of realization expanded, then you could understand, to a certain extent, what was the relation between them. And this has been revealed by his writings. He wrote a poem, Bengali poem, Gai Geet Shunate Tumay. It has been translated in English and other languages, Hindi and other languages. A song I sing to thee. প্রভু তুমি, প্রাণ সখা তুমি মোর. You see here, no more guru. Pran Shaka, my dearest bosom friend, to Sri Ramakrishna says, Prabhu to me, you are my Lord, but more so, you are my dearest bosom friend. প্রভু তুমি প্রাণ সখা তুমি মোর কবু দেখি আমি তুমি তুমি আমি as Sri Ramakrishna said this and this is same বাণী তুমি বিনা পানি কণ্ঠে মোর তরঙ্গে তোমার ভেসে যায় নরনারী here he reveals that you are my dearest friend. And what is this nature of this friendship? What is this Sakhya Bhakti? I am you and you are mine. There's no difference. Avinna Hridaya. And then he adds something more. Bani tumi, bina pani konthe more. Swamiji several times he says, I am a voice without a form. O Shoriri Bani. Here he says, who's that Bani? Bani Tumi, my Lord, my friend. You are my voice. Bina Pani Kontemor. In my throat, you are residing. It's Bina Pani, the goddess of Saraswati, the goddess of speech. Tumi gao go, gao momo hridaye boshi. Jhankare bajao. You please speak. I am an instrument. I am a vocal instrument. Please speak. The Vani, the speech is yours. Be seated in the heart. Vani tumi bina pani konthemo. And it says, Toronge tomar bheshe jay naronari. By your wave, the wave of your speech. Swami Vivekananda is seeing at that time. He has finished his tour in the foreign country. He has seen the power of his speech. Literally, the multitudes of people would be drowned in that wave. By your wave, not mine, your wave. You are seated in my speech. They become one, identical in friendship. This is the bond of Sakhya Bhakti. Ultimate illustration to which point it can go is not out of emotion, which he denied throughout his life. But later, he realized, yes, it is an expression from his heart. And this song he has offered to thee, Shunate Tumai. We are hearing as secondary hearers, meant for his Lord. He has written another poem in Bengali, Shokhar Prati, to a friend. There he says, is something different, but the same idea. Says তরঙ্গে তোমার ভেসে যায় নরনারী. By this wave is not merely words, not sound wave. Wave is something else. It's not the oratory, not the power of speech. Power is something else, which he discloses in the second poem. শোনো বলি মরমের কথা, জীবনে জেনেছি সত্য সার. His whole life, he has discovered something, some truth, the essential truth, Satya Sar, which is disclosing. Moromer Kotha, from my heart's talk. তরঙ্গ আকুল ভবঘোর এক তরি করে পারাবার. This world is full of waves of misery. Everybody is drowned as if being tossed by the waves of this worldly sufferings. But I have discovered one thing. There is one boat, one ship, which ferries the distressed people across the ocean of life. One ship is available. But for us to cross the ocean, we have many avenues, which is listing and denying. মন্ত্র তন্ত্র প্রাণ নিয়মন. We are repeating the mantras. We are having pranayam, tantra sadhan, various sadhans. Mata darsha darshan vigyan, various philosophies, opinion, discussion, analysis. ত্যাগ ভোগ বুদ্ধির বিভ্রম, renunciation, enjoyment, these are all confusion of the intellect. প্রেম প্রেম এই মাত্র ধন. There's only one এক তরি করে পারাবার, one boat. The central essential message is prem, love. The love of Sri Ramakrishna, which is inundating everybody. That's why Swami Vivekananda said he was LOVE personified. Premaghana Murti, the concrete, abstract format of love the Supreme, which he realized through his Sakhya Bhava. Each bhava, each bhakti is full in itself. Now, how this Sri Ramakrishna is liberating everybody through this wave? We know that there is darshan, vision of Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi at Nilambar Baba's garden house in Beluru. When she was staying there, she came to take bath in the Ganges, in that ghat, still there. And she suddenly saw that Sri Ramakrishna is coming, and from his feet The water is gushes forth in the form of Ganga, which is true as per our tradition. Haripada Padma Tarangini Gange, Himobidu Virudad, Davala Tarangi, Duri Kuru, Mamadushkiti Bharam, Kuru Kripa Bhava Sagar Par. Bhava Sagar Par karo. कौन करेगा? Ganga, which comes out from the feet of Vishnu. This is in the mythology. But Holy Mother is seeing. And then she saw that Narendranath is going ahead of that water and sprinkling that water all over, and multitude of people are getting liberated. Act turi kore paravar. And that is the power of love. So this is the wonderful experience, wonderful relation Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna had. The feeling of oneness through this tie of friendship, ideal friend. This feeling of friendship has been practiced by many saints and seers all over the globe in various religions. We know in Maharashtra there is Gyandev and Namdev. Namdev also practiced bhakti and composed some songs, Avang, in the dialect, and establishing a loving relation with God, Vishnu. And an ideal relation of friendship. It was followed by Samarth Ramdas and Tukaram. In Pandharpur, Vitthal. Tukaram also composed some avangs, expressing his deep love to the Lord. In Gujarat also we had Narsi Mehta. He was a Brahmin, but very poor Brahmin. But he would not engage himself in any activities, professional activities. He was confident that his friend, his Lord, will take care of him. This confidence, his friend will take care of him. And he composed many immortal poems, bhajans. We know that Mahatma Gandhi was a great follower of Narsi Mehta, and he particularly liked his composition and bhajan. Vaishnava Janato, तेने रे कहिए, पीड़ पढ़ाई जो जाने रे, पर दुखे उपकार करे त्वे, मन अभिमान न माने रे. I call him a Vaishnava, a spiritual person, a religious man, who can feel the miseries of the afflicted. This feeling, sahanubhuti, sympathy, expansion of heart, That is the result of bhakti. Bhakti does not make us narrow, make us wide, expands our heart. Expansion is life. But he feels for others. Swami Vivekananda also says, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. बाकी तो मृतक जैसा है, वही जीते हैं जो औरों के लिए जीते हैं. Narsi Mehta also saying the same thing. And not only he feels, he extends his hand of cooperation to mitigate the sufferings of the distressed. Not only feeling, followed by action. उपकार करे तो he tries to help others to mitigate the sufferings, to pacify his own pain being felt as a resonance of the pain of others. Pain is somewhere else. This is being felt as a resonance, like an instrument with strings. It vibrates when the source of sound is somewhere else. By the sound vibration, it resonates. So by telepathy, he feels pain of others and acts accordingly to reduce the pain. We have seen in the description of the life of Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi that how she used to feel the pang of grief of others and used to absorb like a blotting paper. When the other person would be painless and the Holy Mother will be seen full of pain, absorbing the pain. We know that Maji Bau, that poor woman, low-caste woman, who lost his young son and became like a mad. And when she came, Holy Mother asked, "What has happened to you? How is your son?" And then she said, "He has died suddenly. Youthful son, only one son." As soon as Holy Mother heard, she burst into tears, cried aloud. People rushed. What has happened? And they saw both the women were weeping. And after some time, Holy Mother continued to weep. And this poor lady, she was quiet. Transfer of the pain. And at the end, it was found that this lady was in smiles. She went home with oil on her head. She was fed, and the food was given, this cloth. So this is what proclaimed by Narsi Mehta in his song. And this is the result of our development of friendship bhakti with God. We find in Christianity, Jesus also had this friendship bhakti demonstrated to his companions. There was a family where two sisters and a brother lived in the village Bethany, few furlongs off of Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. The two sisters, Mary, Martha, and their brother Lazarus, they're very close with Jesus the Christ. And Jesus said that they are my friends. It's mentioned in the Gospel according to John. In the book of John, it is mentioned that Jesus used to visit their house, even being uninvited. A friend does not need any invitation to drop in. And they were taken very naturally. Martha was very particular in her dealings, very systematic. But Mary's devotion to Lord was unbounded. But it was firm. This is the essence of friendship. When He is there, He will take care. I need not worry. So that friendship gives us that confidence. Then I'm not alone. I'm being constantly taken care of by my friend. He cannot leave me. And this was demonstrated when their brother died. Lazarus lost his life, and according to the custom, he was buried, cremated, buried. He was taken away. His body was covered by cloth and head. He was buried within a cave, and the mouth of the cave was closed by a stone. Martha and Mary were weeping profusely. Martha came out, was calling on Jesus. Left home and calling on Jesus. But Mary did not go. Mary was in his home, in her home. So then Jesus arrived by their prayer and said, "What happened?" This has happened. And he assured, "Do not worry, I am there. I will help you. I will do this." But they say he's already gone. 3 days over. He said, "Never mind. You do not know who am I. But where is Mary?" He said, "She's in home. Call her." Mary did not come on the first place. She was called by Jesus. He will call us if we have strength of our prayer, if we have confidence on our friendship, firmness, firm belief. And when Mary came and wept, she said, "Do not grieve. Let's go. and then ordered the sisters, remove the stone from the cave and go and bring out that corpse. They said it is stinky. It must be stinking bad smell now. It's rotten corpse. They were hesitant to go in. In the cave, the stone was removed. Jesus called from outside. We all know this story. Lazarus, come out. Lazarus came. Lazarus was also his friend. It's a friendship tie, like a family friend. Lazarus came to the dismay of all. People were surprised. But Jesus demonstrated. But we know this miracle went against Jesus. People became conscious that this person is with tremendous power. And if the Romans know of it, they will kill us. So after this incident, Jesus had to leave the place with his followers to a different place. That's a different story. But this relation of friendship, it transforms the life of the devotee. That is the most important thing. Bhakti is not theoretical. It changes our life, transforms our life, makes our life from steel to gold. Internally, we feel blessed, fearless, confident, and externally, we feel for others. We see the same God who's felt within, the God without. The eye sees the beloved in so many beings, and that's why it feels grieved seeing the grief in others, feeling the identity, seeing the Lord, my beloved, in the bereaved. That's why Swami Vivekananda says, God the wicked, God the illiterate, God the sick. বহুরূপে সম্মুখে তোমার ছাড়ি কোথা খুঁজিতেশ্বর, জীবে প্রেম করে যেইজন সেইজন শুনেছেশ্বর. So the love which you have for the Lord stored inside, share it with all. Feel blessed and make others feel blessed too. So this idea of friendship transforms a person, makes him full of joy, makes him immortal. But when that friendship is there, there is also this knowledge that God is with me. But there is something more. something more exalted. And that we see in the ninth rung of the ladder, Atma Nivedan. Uddhav was a friend of Sri Krishna. He knew who Sri Krishna was. But he was little critic about the immature behavior of the gopikas, the weeping and wailing. The Krishna is here, he is everywhere, he is not gone. Can't they feel the presence of Krishna wherever they are? So Sri Krishna was naughty. He said, requested Uddhav, Uddhav, you please go to Vrindavan and make them understand that their behavior is not becoming, unbecoming of them. Please make them understand who I am. Uddhav went. And then at the end, he fell at their feet, learning what is Atmanivedanam. That we'll take up in our next class. Om Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampadhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Announcement. As has been announced over our WhatsApp, that from today we have started a weekly Japa Yajna session. So the devotees all over the globe may join in. By uploading their name through WhatsApp to our Ramakrishna Mat Lucknow number, their preferred time slots next Sunday onwards, and the name or names of their family members and their location. We tabulate the names and locations and circulate so that we may all feel united through the spiritual vibration. It is going on today, to be continued in the subsequent Sundays. And I invite one and all to join in the spiritual family. Besides, we have the Mangalarati of Ramakrishna Mat Lucknow, Sandhyarati, Bhajans, streamed live every day, and also these discourses. August and September, this bi-monthly program are also ready. It is also being circulated to all of you through WhatsApp. So despite this unlockdown 3 phase, we should remain happy, remain healthy, and remain safe, enjoying the spiritual relationship amongst ourselves. Thank you. Namaskar.